Some people say cats are cold, distant, impossible to read. But if you've ever had a cat curl up on your chest like you were the only safe place in the universe, you know the truth. Cats aren't distant. They're just deeply discerning. Have you ever noticed how your cat seems to choose certain people? Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone else who barely speaks, barely moves, and suddenly your cat is in their lap like they've known each other for years. Feels like magic, but it isn't. It's trust. Quiet, intuitive, earned trust. Because cats don't love like we do. They don't follow rules. They follow energy. They watch, they wait, and when they find someone who understands their world, not with words but with stillness, scent, and softness, they choose. And once they choose you, you're not just a person in their home. You're part of their soul map. In today's video, we're going to explore something quietly profound. Why cats choose certain people as their favorite humans, and what they're really looking for when they decide to love you. These aren't just tips. They're emotional truths. From the silent ways your cat says, "I trust you," to the tiny things you can do that make them feel deeply safe, you'll begin to understand your feline companion not just as a pet, but as a being with unspoken needs, and an unbreakable bond to give. So find a soft blanket. Let your cat curl beside you or watch from afar like they do. And let's begin this gentle journey into the feline heart. 1. They wait for you to notice without needing to speak. Your cat will never say, "I love you." But they will follow you from room to room, never touching, never meowing, just existing quietly beside you. That's not distance. That's closeness, feline style. Cats adore people who sense these moments. The ones who pause, look back, and offer a slow blink. The ones who sit down without calling and let the cat come to them. To your cat, silence isn't empty. It's sacred. And when you treat it that way, they begin to trust that your presence isn't pressure, it's peace. 2. They feel safe around people who feel safe inside. Cats don't listen to your words. They listen to your energy. Are you rushing, anxious, loud? They'll feel that like static electricity across their fur. But if you move slowly, speak gently, and let your presence melt into the moment, your cat will drift closer. Not because you called them, but because your calm became their calm. Cats are emotional mirrors. And when you ground yourself, they reflect that safety back. Sometimes in a purr, sometimes just in the way they breathe beside you. 3. They're drawn to people who don't try too hard. The secret is simple: don't reach out. Let them reach you. Cats are most intrigued by the people who act like they're not even there. Not because they're being ignored, but because they're being respected. A cat chooses who they approach. And when you give them that power, you give them the freedom to trust. Those who crouch down, wiggle fingers, or chase with kisses. They may mean well. But cats don't respond to effort. They respond to permission. And permission begins with space. 4. They remember who listens to their silent language. A twitching tail. Flattened ears. A sudden freeze during petting. These are not accidents, they're whispers of discomfort. The people cats love most are the ones who notice these whispers. Who stop when the tail starts to flick. Who shift when the body tenses. Who blink softly instead of staring. To a cat, this is fluency. You're speaking their language, not with words but with presence. And in that presence they feel seen and safe. 5. They trust the ones who let play be ritual, not chaos. Play is sacred to your cat. It's not just a pastime, it's instinct, expression, ritual. Every leap, every chase, every tiny paw swipe is ancient. A simulation of the wild. And when you join that play with respect, not by waving toys randomly but by moving like prey, stopping, darting, hiding, surrendering, you enter their world. Let them win. Let them pounce. Let them feel powerful. Because that play is more than fun. It's primal therapy. And you? You become part of the ritual. 6. They relax into people who keep the world predictable. Your cat doesn't care if you bought them the fanciest bed. They care if the sun hits the same corner at 9 a.m. They care if you open the window before making coffee. They care that your footsteps sound the same each evening. Cats love people who carry routine like a soft heartbeat. Because in a world filled with sudden noise and strange smells, your patterns are safety. And when you show up the same way day after day, your cat begins to believe in your rhythm and in your heart. 7. They bond deeply with those who understand affection isn't always touch. Not all cats want to be held. But all cats want to feel close, in their own way. Sometimes it's sitting beside you just close enough to feel your breath. Sometimes it's rubbing their face on your knee and walking away. Sometimes it's watching you from across the room, tail curled loosely, eyes soft. People who get this, who don't force snuggles, who wait for invitation, who understand that presence is affection. They unlock something rare. A quiet intimacy that doesn't need arms. Just awareness. 8. They gravitate toward people who find beauty in their weirdness. Cats are strange. They chirp at birds. They bolt at 3 a.m. They sit in sinks and stare into corners. Some people try to correct this. Others laugh. They smile softly and say, "That's just who you are." And your cat feels that acceptance. They sense when they can be fully themselves without being misunderstood. And in that environment they bloom, more curious, more open, more loving. Because when a cat feels safe to be odd, they'll trust you with their softest selves. 9. They never forget the ones who let them take their time. You can't rush trust, especially not with a cat. They may sniff your fingers for weeks before brushing your leg. They may sleep near your bed before climbing into it. They may watch for months before curling into your lap. And when that moment comes, it's not small. It's sacred. Cats love people who don't push, who don't expect, who simply wait, and in that waiting, offer the greatest gift of all, patience without pressure. 10. They give their hearts to the ones who see them without needing words. No speeches, no commands, just a soft look, a hand held still, a breath shared across the space. The people cats love the most are the ones who listen with their eyes, who understand that blinking is like a hug, that a slow stretch beside you is a gesture of peace, that the cat's entire body is a whisper of emotion. These people don't need their cats to change. They just let them be. And in return, the cat offers something beyond affection. They offer belonging. Have you ever had a moment with your cat that felt more powerful than words? Maybe it was a quiet night where they sat on your chest like a guardian, or a simple slow blink during a hard day, like they knew. Share your story in the comments. Let's build a little haven here for cat lovers who understand the unspoken. And if you're smiling right now, thinking of your cat's quirks, don't forget to hit like. Your story might just help someone else love their cat more deeply. Final reflection. Your cat doesn't care how successful you are. They don't care how much you talk. They care how safe it feels to be near you. In a world that moves too fast, too loud, too often, you are their quiet. You are their pause. You are home. So don't worry about being perfect. You already speak the most important language, the one of gentle consistency, patience, and presence. And when your cat curls up beside you tonight, or simply watches you from across the room, know this: you've already been chosen. Call to action. If this helped you feel one step closer to your cat, subscribe to Meowsphere. We're not just a channel, we're a quiet little family for people who see cats as more than pets. They're soul companions. And in the comments, share the one moment your cat made you feel truly loved. We'd love to feature some of your stories in our next video. Until next time, stay soft, stay present, and love your cat in the way they understand best. Quietly, deeply, and without words.